The Pokemon community has been so cringe lately. I actually can't believe it. There's been loads and loads of people really angry about prismatic evolutions. Oh, the prices of this, the prices of that, and rah rah rah. This store's doing this and this store's doing that. Cringe, mate. It's just so cringe. People putting people on blast because people are charging over market for prismatic evolutions. It's just insane to me. I mean, the Pokemon community is just, it's just the worst community to deal with. I mean, as someone that sells a vast array of things, I mean, I've got Christmas stuff here, I've got Pokemon toys here, I've got video games down here. What else have we got? Just in shop, we've got, can you see this? The Simpsons stuff. Yeah, I sell loads and loads of stuff, and I've got to be honest with you, the Pokemon community is the worst. On eBay alone, I think I've sold probably less than 100 Pokemon cards in my lifetime on eBay. And I would say around at least 10 of them, 100, have gone missing, right? And these are all low value cards, all under a tenner, that, you know, you're not going to spend the extra £2 to get tracked because it's just not worth, you know, selling the card. And people won't buy it either because it's £2 more than everybody else. You know, at least 10 of those cards have gone missing, 10%, right? Now let me put this into context. When Star Wars first came out, was it last March, April, that sort of time, we sold thousands of cards. It must have been 2,000 cards at least. And I'll tell you something now, not a single one of them went missing, not one. And that to me just shows that the types of people that actually are in the Pokemon community right now. A lot of the Pokemon community at the moment are shouting and screaming about stores charging over MSRP for prismatic evolutions. And, you know, we've been through this. We've been going through this for a long time now. We went through this cycle during COVID as well. You know, there's been periods of cheap Pokemon, guys. There's still cheap Pokemon out there now. If you want to open up Pokemon, go and buy a box of Shrouded Fable. Go and buy a box of Obsidian Flames or a box of Scarlet and Violet base set. You know, go and buy a box of Battle Styles if you want to go back even older than that. But for some reason, everybody's focused on prismatic evolutions, and it's because it's the hottest set. And why is it the hottest set? Because it's got evolutions in it. That's why it's a hot set, guys. That's why the price is what the price is. That's why Shrouded Fable was 40, 35. People were selling it for like 35, 40 quid when it came out, on the day it came out. You know, the collectibles market has always been a market price. They've always been a market price. A lot of people online, you know, I see on Twitter. I mean, I even posted a tweet, right? I'll put it up here, right? I posted a tweet on the day of Prismatic Evolution's release, right, where I opened 100 packs, and I took a photo of all the rubbish on the ground, right? And I posted it saying 100 packs, no EVs. That tweet got seen 1.1 million times, right? And all of the comments on it, all of the comments underneath it were just a vast array of people calling me everything from a scalper to the N-word. It's just crazy. Like, what? So a person can't open up 100 packs? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm a store. I get this stuff obviously cheaper than everybody else. Well, the general public does, because I'm a store. We have to make money on it. That's the way it is. But I promise you now, you know, the margins on Elite Trainer boxes are terrible. There's not really a lot of margin in there. I mean, I think they cost us like, I honestly can't remember what the exact price is, but I think they cost us like £30 each, right? That's what an Elite Trainer box costs you. And let's just leave it, let's just say it's £30. And if you're selling them for 50 quid, if you're lucky, you're making £20 on an Elite Trainer box, right? Now after that, you've got to take off your VAT, you've got to take off your tax, and you've got to take off storage costs, and you know, then they want to pay by credit card, and you lose like 2%, or you know, they want to pay by card. You know, then you get thefts and losses and damaged goods and all of this other stuff as well that, you know, ends up being part of it. People have got to pay rent, their bills, electricity. They've got to pay. You know, I'm not talking about for their house. I'm talking about for where they, you know, for where their shop is or for where their business is. You know, people don't factor all of this sort of stuff in. It's very, very easy to sit in your bedroom on your phone and complain about the prices of stuff when, you know, the prices have been easy for 2 years now. We've had 2 years of easy prices. We've lost, you know, over the last 2 years, you know, we've lost off of MSRP, you know, thousands and thousands. There's no, you know, it's funny how MSRP is only relevant when it's in your favour, you know. And you know, a lot of people on Twitter as well are saying things like Pokemon need to do something about this. You know, the distributors need to do something about this. And you know, I don't understand exactly what you kind of expect them to kind of do. I'm not really too sure what you're expected from them. You know, MSRP is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Suggested. There's no law that says that the MSRP has to be this price, and that's the only price that you can sell it at. It's a suggested retail price. So what that basically means is, if you can get more for it, get more for it. If you have to sell it for less, sell it for less. It is what it is. You know, it's a collectibles game. That's the way the market is. You don't have MSRP on a loaf of bread. You don't have MSRP on a pint of milk. You don't have MSRP on, you know, a pack of Snicker bars. You have MSRP on collectibles and, you know, like entertainment goods, toys, media, you know, that sort of stuff. That's the way that it is. I don't know why my camera's dropped. Let's sort that out. It's so cringe, guys. Honestly, it really is. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a difference between charging £50 a pack on whatnot for prismatic evolutions, right? I mean, there is definitely a spectrum to this, but I think we just kind of need to stop all of this, you know, this vitriol towards people. You know, stores, like I say, Pokemon's been under MSRP for a long time now, a really long time, and we've had one set that's finally gone over MSRP, and everybody's blaming, you know, saying stores are scammers, and this store's doing this, and this store's doing that. It's just cringe. This is why I don't publicly sell Pokemon on our website or, you know, through, you know, our social media channels, because there's just way too much. There's way too much like emotional immaturity. That's the only thing I can really say about it, you know. I mean, the tweet that I posted last week got over 1 million views. Just the vitriol that I got through it, because everybody was calling me a scalper. I mean, how do you scalp 100 packs that you've opened? People just don't have the brain cells to realise what they're actually talking about. I don't know, guys. Honestly, I really am laughing at it, because I kind of sit back and I see all of these people and they're like, oh, look at this guy, he's charging £10 a pack on TikTok. It's like, well, you know, what do you expect? You know, that's what the price of it is. What are we doing here? Like, what are we even talking about here? It's just, you know, whether you disagree with it or not. I mean, I can't even remember who it was, right? Someone said to me on Twitter, because we had a little discussion about it, and someone said to me on Twitter, if you can't afford to take the losses on the bad sets, then you shouldn't get into Pokemon to begin with. And I think that was such a weird thing to say, because on the backside as well, as a collector, if you can't afford to get into the expensive sets, maybe you shouldn't be collecting Pokemon. Maybe you should get into Digimon or something like that. But, you know, obviously I don't mean that, but that's kind of the same thing, right? It's a flip. I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. I had a collection came for our deliveries going out today. So yeah, I kind of completely lost my train of thought, to be honest with you. But you know, there's just such a load of moral grandstanding out there at the moment with the Pokemon community, and you know, everybody trying to just seem like they're a good person on Twitter all the time. I hate this kind of like, you know, this virtuous, you know, like, oh, look at me, I'm such a good person, for like shouting at this person or shouting at this person. It's just a crazy situation, man. It really is. You know, I'd like to, you know, the next person, I'll tell you what, the next person that comes up to me at a card show and says to me, how much is this item? And I tell them a price, right? And if they say to me, would you take this much for it? I'm going to say, this person here isn't offering me MSRP. They're not paying MSRP for it, because that's the equivalent of it, right? The market goes through swings and roundabouts. The prices go up and down. It's always happened in the collectibles markets for as long as I can remember. You know, and I've been in this market for a long time. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't even know what to say about the matter anymore. People have just got so, you know, people are so angry when it's not in their favour, but they don't stand by what they say when it is in their favour, you know. And I think that's one of the main issues with this discourse that's kind of happening on Twitter at the moment, and what seems to be happening on the internet. There's also another grandstanding issue. People that are grandstanding that, oh, you know, you have to do this to be a collector or to be a fan of Pokemon. You know, there's three types of people in the collectibles industry, right? You've got the people that play the games, you've got the people that just collect, and you've got the people that invest. Those three things have always existed. People have been hanging on to Pokemon boxes, to old video games, to sealed toys, to Star Wars stuff. You know, Star Wars is from the 70s, guys. You know, there's toys from the 70s that are crazy prices. You don't think that those collectibles have gone up and down in price as time has gone on and as things have come out? You don't think that those Star Wars toys were like the hottest thing to come out in 1981 or whenever they came out? Of course they were. Of course they were hard to get. Of course that parents struggled to get for them. Parents probably even struggled to pay for them in the 70s, let's be honest. You know, it's just kind of a crazy situation that we're in, that people have got to feel so emotional that they have to kind of attack people all the time. And it's kind of sad to see, really, especially in this space that's supposed to be so, you know, we're all so forgiving, and not forgiving, but we're also like, what's the word? Oh, we're such nice people. We're all such nice people. You know, we welcome everybody in. But I've seen so many instances where that's just not the case at all. You know, it's a very, very toxic community. And my advice to any small store out there that is stocking Pokemon throughout this bull market period, which is probably going to last a couple of years now that we're going to be going into the 30th anniversary and 10th generation. Probably going to be a couple of years. My advice to you is to get your stock, send it into Amazon, and just no one knows who you are then. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me that people would put themselves on this sort of blast. I don't understand why people are surprised. The businesses are trying to make money out there. I don't know, guys. We've reached 12-minute mark. I don't know what more I can really say on it. It's a sad situation that people have kind of got to be in this really abrasive, you know, vitriolic, angry, just spiteful, you know, nature all the time. You know, I can't wait until this bull market's over, and then we have. I mean, I can wait, but you know, once MSRP comes back, all of those same people that were crying about MSRP during Prismatic Evolutions, Journeys Together, Team Rocket, whatever the next few sets are going to be the same people that are offering you £35 for a new Elite Trainer box that's just come out. And you know, the other thing that I notice about these sorts of hot sets, right, is that it brings all of the people out of the woodwork that haven't spoke to you in ages. You know, all of a sudden you're receiving messages from people that haven't spoke to you in ages. And, oh, like, you know, can you sell this? And have you got any of this? And, oh, what are you charging? Are you charging MSRP? And it's like, you know, man, you've never bought anything from me. You've never bought anything from me, and you're now asking, like, essentially for a favour. It's just kind of weird kind of behaviour, you know, the people that kind of come out of the woodwork. And I've had loads of people messaging me on like Instagram and stuff. Oh, like, have you got any Prismatic Evolutions? And oh, how much are you selling them for? And my answer is just, I'm not selling them. That's just what I've been telling people, because it's just, I can't be bothered with the aggravation. It's just not worth it to me. You know, why would I sell it online where people are just going to be angry that, I mean, I remember, oh God, what was it? We're going back a few years now. I think it was possibly Celebrations. And actually, no, it might have actually been the first run of the Charizard UPC, if I try and remember now. But I remember I put that Charizard UPC up, right, at MSRP, and you know, we didn't get loads anyway, but they sold out very, very quickly. And straight away you've got people sending messages, leaving reviews, this store's a scam, this is a joke, all bots are just taken up, well, this store's giving it to people that they like, and blah blah blah. And like, I'll be honest with you, I don't really care who gets the product, right? The main thing that matters to me is that it sells. It doesn't matter to me who buys it, really. Yeah, that's the truth of the matter, you know. It's, in a sense, like, it's I don't know, it's hard to say, but you know, it doesn't really matter to me. You know, in the end, who kind of gets it. You know, I try to do my best to make sure that it goes into the hands of the best people. You know, we only make the link go live when it's ready to be sold, so that no one can pre-attack the link with bots and all that sort of stuff. We've put like one limit per person and all that sort of stuff, and cancelled orders that are, you know, 2 that are going to the same address at my expense as well. By the way, at my expense, because on Shopify, if you pay £100, for example, for an item, Shopify will charge, like, I don't know what it is, like 2-3%, right? So say £3 comes back off of that, right? I refund £100 to you, and I lose that £3 or whatever the fee is that they charge me. I have to refund that out of my pocket, so I lose that money. There's not a lot of margin in Pokemon anyway. You sell it at MSRP, and now I'm losing £3 on an item that you only make £15 on anyway. You know, and at the end of the day, you did that for everybody. You know, you put out this thing for MSRP, you just get vitriol and abuse thrown back at you anyway, and then none of those people come back. I haven't seen a single one of those people ever again. Never. So it doesn't really benefit a store to try and appease people. Really, it doesn't. And, you know, the Pokemon community itself has to realise that they are just as important, that the stores are just as important as they are. You know, the stores provide the product, they, you know, often host games and stuff like that. If they're a brick and mortar store, they are the ones that keep this Pokemon train rolling, even through the bad times. You know, even through your Shrouded Fables, even through your battle styles, even through your evolutions, if you want to go back that far. These stores have been here all of this time. They've taken the losses, they've taken the gains throughout it. You are able, as a consumer, to pick and choose the sets that you want to go for, and the ones that you want to, and the ones that you don't. You don't have to buy Prismatic Evolutions. You don't have to buy Shrouded Fable. You don't have to pay MSRP for Shrouded Fable because you can get it under market price. You don't have to pay over MSRP for Prismatic Evolutions if you don't want to. If you don't want to pay it, don't pay it. That's just kind of the way it is. But anyway, not really too sure what else I can kind of say on this matter without kind of going over and over and over on it. And you know, I think the whole Pokemon community needs to kind of look at itself, take a little step back, look at itself, and, you know, trying to say that if you don't play the game, you're not a real Pokemon fan, or if you don't like the art, you're not a Pokemon fan, or if you only collect to invest, then you're not a Pokemon fan. You know, like I said, there's 3 types of people in any collectibles market. There's players, there's collectors, and there's investors. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it always will be. The investing side always goes through these major trends where it's super, super hot online. And what you got to realise now is that a lot of people are terminally online. A lot of these people are on Twitter all damn day. That's all they do is sit on Twitter, tweet, moan, 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 moan. That's, you know, and especially now that there's this like engagement farming trend on Twitter, it's exacerbated even more because people are more likely to post something that they know will get a lot of views instead of something that they actually believe in. And I think that's something you've got to be aware of as well, is that there's a lot of kind of, you know, this like fakery and, you know, this fake like virtuousness of, look at me, I'm such a good person. And then you'll see these people posting a picture of a card saying, look at this card, why is this card so cheap? And then a few weeks later, they're like, oh, look at these people pumping this card, blah, 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 blah. It's like, but you did that the other day yourself. I don't know, just be careful out there, guys. Buy into what you want to buy in. If you don't want to buy into it, don't buy into it. If you do want to buy into it, do buy into it. You know, don't listen to other people. If you're a business out there, you know, just do what's best for you at the end of the day. Most of the people complaining will never come back to you anyway, because they're probably the types of people that as soon as another store has got it £1 cheaper on their website, they'll just buy it straight from there anyway, because that is how this works. This is how it works. Nobody buys their products from the same store all the time. Even when I go food shopping, I don't shop in Tesco's all the time or in Sainsbury's or in wherever else. We shop about. That's just the way it is. You always shop about. We're in a digital age now where everything's on the internet. You know, why would I walk into the town square where there's one or one local game shop, if you're lucky, with a few other stores that stock Pokemon as well. Why would I walk into those shops when I can Google online and find a million different shops worldwide that sell the thing that I want, in the size that I want, in the colour that I want? You know, that's the way that the market works now. We're in this kind of, we're trapped in the 90s still, it seems, where, you know, stores have got to have this kind of weird parasocial relationship with their customers, and, you know, the customers expect these people, you know, these store owners to treat them like they're royalty all the time. When, you know, store owners themselves, we don't get treated like royalty, I can tell you that much. We have to put up with a lot of shit from a lot of people all the time. I mean, you know, I had one person, and this isn't even in the Pokemon community, but I had one person last year leave me a negative review because they wasn't happy that the dinosaur that I'd sold them, it's a Hasbro Jurassic World dinosaur, right? They were unhappy that it was called the Roaring T-Rex by Hasbro, but it only growls. That was her complaint. Left me a negative review. Well, that's got nothing to do with me. That's up to you to decide what you're buying. You know, that's Hasbro. Hasbro made the thing called Roaring T-Rex. It growls. What do you want me to do about that? I just sell the thing. It's your idea. You should be the one to research the price, or the research the item that you're looking to buy. Oh, it's called Roaring T-Rex. The sound is really important to me. I'm going to look up on YouTube what the sound looks like. It's just crazy. And then we have to put up with this sort of stuff all the time, you know. And then then they'll try and angle for a refund and try and blackmail you over it. I just, you know, just leave the negative review. I really don't care. But anyway, guys, I think that's all I've got time for. We've hit the 20-minute mark. Pretty long video. So if you made it to the end, congratulations. Let me know in the comments though if you agree with me. Let me know what you think about this whole Prismatic situation, MSRP, pricing, and where are you at with it? I'm still in the camp that I would rather my singles and the cards that I can pull from these boxes be expensive and, you know, have value in them. I don't want to. There's no point in spending 50 quid on a Elite Trainer box to pull £3 worth of cards. The market doesn't work that way. We've had this proven over the last couple of years that Pokemon doesn't want to work this way. The customer base doesn't even want it this way. Yet they'll sit there and say on Twitter, oh, we're so upset with the pricing, we're so upset with the pricing. Then in the same hand, they won't go out and buy Obsidian Flames at, you know, MSRP. Crazy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Leave us a like, subscribe if you're new here, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think as well. Am I talking shit again? Don't be tight. Check out the site.